Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Live from Southfield this afternoon as you take a look at 696. A lot of things happening there again today. Did you find a new route to work this morning? Because there are detours to get people around both sides of the freeway being closed right now as they work on the Church Street Plaza Bridge. That tops our noon this noon, tops our noon show. I'm Jason Colthorpe.
And I'm Rhonda Walker. Crews close those westbound lanes between I-696 and I-7 or 696 from 75 to the Lodge. And that happened on Friday. This morning was the first morning drive without the westbound lanes. Of course, eastbound has been closed for over a month now.
And if you know, you know. Priya Mann is live or has more on the impact that this extended closure could have.
Today is the first full workday. 696 in both directions in Oak Park will be shut down, and this is why crews are working to demolish the Church Street Plaza Bridge. And while they do that, both directions between I-75 and the Lodge need to be shut down. And that closure will allow MDOT to demolish the Church Street Plaza Bridge. Crews will be tearing down 170 concrete beams and cleaning up debris. Drivers might know this bridge in Oak Park as the one where large icicles form in the winter. MDOT is replacing the drainage system, making it safer for drivers. Now, this closure on the westbound side, those lanes will reopen at 5 a.m. Monday the 19th. We'll hear from MDOT about the project, but first take a listen to what drivers had to say.
It's inconvenient. It's like this is a main freeway that leads to everywhere I go.
It is a big project, and even in roughly the 3 weeks we need to bring the bridge down, even that is a condensed amount of time, which is why we do have to make noise, sometimes even during the nighttime hours.
Here's MDOT's detour. Westbound traffic will be detoured via southbound I-75 to the Davison to the Lodge to get back to westbound 696. So take a good look at this map. By the way, a local westbound lane will be open with access to Bermuda Street, Woodward Avenue, and Coolidge Highway. While MDOT crews are hard at work, that closure is going to be a challenge for a lot of drivers, but the silver lining here for that westbound traffic, those lanes will reopen on Monday the 19th at 5 a.m. In Oak Park, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya. We are waiting on a judge's decision today regarding Midland's Edenville Dam, which gave way 5 years ago. A judge will announce whether this case will move forward to trial. The dam failed in May of 2020, causing many nearby residents to evacuate their homes, several lakes to completely empty. Prosecutors say Eagle, the state's environmental department, knew the dam was not structurally sound or safe, but continued to fill it anyway. We are following some breaking news this noon. Hamas says it has released Israeli-American hostage Idan Alexander. Hamas said it would release Alexander without conditions in hopes to work toward a lasting ceasefire in Gaza. The release comes ahead of President Donald Trump's visit to the Middle East this week.
Opening statements in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial are happening right now in New York. Prosecutors and the defense started summarizing their cases shortly after the 12 jurors and 6 alternates were picked. Federal prosecutors will try to prove that Combs turned his hip-hop conglomerate into a racketeering enterprise that forced women to satisfy his sexual desires. Combs has pleaded not guilty and could get at least 15 years in prison if he's convicted on all charges.
A big announcement on trade with China coming as a huge relief to small businesses as well as stocks.
Yeah, as Alice Barr explains, President Donald Trump heads to the Middle East today with trade and investment deals high on the list.
Combine it, and anybody should have known.
President Trump traveling to the Middle East today for the first major foreign trip of his second term, expected to focus on business deals, as Trump administration and Chinese officials revealed new details about a trade deal negotiated this weekend, announcing a 90-day pause for most tariffs beginning Wednesday. The U.S. cutting tariffs on Chinese imports from 145 to 30%, China going from 125 to 10% on U.S. goods, while negotiations continue.
We concluded that we have shared interest, and we both have an interest in balanced trade.
with growing concerns over tariff-induced price hikes. President Trump promising an executive order today to slash prescription drug prices by 30 to 80%. His Middle East trip comes amid signs of tension with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over how to approach aggression from Iran and the war in Gaza. The president not currently set to visit Israel this trip, stopping instead in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, as the White House confirmed Qatar offered to donate what 4 sources call a super luxury jumbo jet to use as the new Air Force One. The sources say it would be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation at the end of his term. Critics, including top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer, blasting the plan as bribery. President Trump defending what he calls a very public and transparent transaction.
Alice Barr, Local 4.
A White House official says that the jet would not be presented nor accepted while President Trump is in Qatar this week.
This week, the Supreme Court will hear a case that ties to President Trump's plan to end birthright citizenship. Birthright citizenship gives legal citizenship to all children born in the U.S., regardless of the status of their parents. The Supreme Court previously deferred Trump's request that would have allowed him to enforce that plan. Now the justices will hear arguments about that request to restrict orders by lower court judges.
Time now to turn our attention to the weather that has been very nice lately,
Happily.
Ashley. I mean, can you look at this outside? 70 degrees with some sunshine. You can't beat that on a Monday at noon. So 70 degrees in the city, but we are actually trending a little bit warmer in Ann Arbor and Pontiac at 73 degrees, 68 in Monroe. So either side of 70, and it's just going to be upward from here. Will likely rise close to 10 more degrees when it's all said and done this afternoon. Very light breeze out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour, which is a huge improvement from this time yesterday. Anywhere from 5 to almost 20 degrees warmer than where we were at noon on Sunday. That bigger shift definitely along and north of M59. So your hourly forecast this afternoon will have a few increasing clouds. That's ahead of our next rainmaker, which will kickstart a pretty active week ahead with rain chances, but 81 the forecasted high for today. And in and out of those rain chances really throughout the course of the work week. So Exact Track 4D showing that rain to our south. It's still a ways away. Some lightning strikes just north of Atlanta, but that is lifting north with that low pressure system. We'll have the timeline of when you can expect rain in your neighborhood in just a few minutes.